Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. My name's Jack, this is JTH Books, and it's that time again to look at all the books I've accumulated recently and buckle up, because there's an unnecessary amount. So I'm calling this a huge book haul because it is quite large. I didn't even know it was this large myself. But I haven't done one for a couple of months. I didn't do one for January or February. I normally do one every month, so I figured let's combine them, you know. I didn't do them. Life got in the way, but let's just show you the books. So now this first lot you actually would have seen. It was in my London reading vlog, which I will link down below. So I'm just going to whiz through these because, like I said, you have seen them. So I'm going to do the ones you've already seen. Then I'm going to do the ones from the publishers. And then I'm going to do the ones that I brought separately from this batch because they're last, you know. Publishers, I'm grateful, so you have to put them in there as soon as you can, but you have already seen these, so I'm just going to whiz through them. So these first 13, unlucky for some, but not for me, because I bought 13, are all from Gaze the Word. That'll be linked down below. That's my favourite bookshop. I love it in there, and I couldn't even hold them all in the shop, to be honest, and I made the mistake of going there first. I had to carry them 13 books around all day. It was... I'm not smart, friends. I'm not smart. So, the first book I picked up was Maurice by E.M. Forster. Now, this was written in 1914, but not published till 1970, which is very interesting to me. This just follows a young man who is coming to deal with attractions, but obviously the time it was written in and how it was published has made this an instant classic. It has become a classic. I can't believe I haven't read this yet. And I'm very excited to get our hands on it, and I love this cover. Then I picked up 100 Queer Poems, an anthology by Mary Jean Chan and Andrew Macmillan. This is literally what it says on the tins. There's 100 poems in here, and they're queer. Can you imagine that's not it? No, friends, it is it. That was just a little thing I found funny, but it wasn't funny. But I'm excited to read this. I've heard brilliant things, and I'm trying to get into a poetry, so here's the place to start. Next up, we have Hell Followed With Us by Andrew Joseph White. Now, I don't know too much about this one. All I know is that it's trans main character, it's YA, I believe it's dystopian. I believe he's on the run from a cult that he was brought up in, and then monsters attack. So just your average day then. Next up we have Querelle of Roberval by Kevin Lambert, translated from the French by Donald Winkler. Now, I have no clue what this one is about. Shall I quickly have a look? I've just read the synopsis and I'm still not sure what it's about. It's about these workers that go on strike, and then this man comes to town and they all go wild for him. That's a very basic, probably wrong summary, but it's all you're getting because I want to know more about it when I read it. But God, all I know is that I was taken in by the cover, and that was all I needed to know. I brought it. Next up, we have All Men Want to Know by Nina Baru, and this is a story of a girl growing up as she deals with her sexuality and being an immigrant and how that affects her life. It's told in little vignettes, which I'm very excited about, and I'm really expecting this to be really, really moving. As soon as I saw it in there, I thought, you're coming home with me. Was that like a TikTok or something? I didn't need to do that. I'm sorry. Next up, we have The Gold Rim Spectacles by Giorgio Bassani, translated from the Italian by Jamie McKendrick. This is the second book in the series. I didn't know that when I bought it. I should have looked at the cover more. But all I know about this one is all I know about this one is a new doctor comes to town, and he's very modern for the time, and he pays someone to be his lover, and then the lover outs him to the rest of the town, and the fallout from there. Now, I do believe it actually can be read separately. You don't need to read book one. I think they're maybe just set in the same town, but it's separate stories. That's what I have gleaned. I haven't even looked at what book one is, so I hope maybe I'll buy book one first. Another excuse to buy a book, isn't it? Next up, I finally picked up one of my most anticipated books of the year, and that is The New Life by Tom Crew. Now, in this book, we follow two men who are writing a book to say that homosexuality is normal, it's natural, and then Oscar Wilde is arrested, and it puts stops to their plans. Or does it? I don't know, because I haven't read it. But I'm so excited for this book. I'm so excited for this book. If I read this and it's not on my top 10 of the year, just know I'll be disappointed. Just know I'm going to crawl into a hole and not come out, okay? Because I want to love this book. I want to love this book. Then I brought a hard copy of Giovanni's Room by James Baldwin because I love it so much. I love it, I love it, I love it. This is the story of David, who's American, who is spending the summer in Paris and falls for Giovanni, and their relationship grows from there. Oh, it's just brilliant. I've already spoken about this one so many times. I just wanted the hardback. Then we have City of Night by John Recchi, and this is a 7th Sale classic. I've got one of these. I've got 2 of these. Haven't read, but I saw this and I thought, join the collection. All I know, this was written in the 1960s, and it takes a really frank, detailed look at the lives of sex workers. On the back it calls them hustlers, but I didn't want to say that, but I've said it. But it's told through like different perspectives of people that the main hustler encounters. I do believe. I'm very excited. Just reading the back, maybe more excited because I think it's going to be good, this one. So well done me for picking it up. Well done. Next I have I Am Not Raymond Wallace by Sam Kenyon. This is published by Incandescent, and they're an independent UK publisher, Queer Books. I'm a big fan. So I saw this in the shop and I wanted to pick it up. And this is also set in the 1960s. 60s vibes. And this is about a young man who is on a 3-month break from college, and he goes to work at the New York Times, and he finds out his boss is being blackmailed. And the story goes on from there. And it's in case of words, so it must be queer, right? Next up, we have A Dash of Salt and Pepper by Kosoko Jackson. I don't know much about this. All I know is a gay rom-com, and I think it's enemies to lovers. I don't think they're friends. I think it's about Xavier, who's down and out in his luck, and then he starts to work for, I can't remember everyone's names, somebody called Logan, and they don't want to be working together. They don't get on, but romance is going to ensue. I don't read many books like this, so I'm excited for a nice, sweet, light change. I imagine if it's really heavy and depressing, but it's not. I don't think it is. Please. Still from Gainesville, we have Deep Sniff, A History of Poppers and Queer Futures by Adam Smith. I said this in the vlog. When I went to buy this, the author was in the shop. And they offered me to meet him, and I was like, absolutely not, Matt, too much for me. I'm shy. I was scared. Yeah, this is a non-fiction book. It's A History of Poppers and Queer Futures. It says what it is on the tin, I assume. I suppose to go a little deeper than that and explore sort of the gay community and the trials and tribulations of it, but I was very excited to buy it. I wanted to buy this for a long time, so I did. And last up, we have This Arab is Queer, an anthology by LGBTQ plus Arab writers, edited by Elias Johnson. This is 18 queer Arab authors in here, and they've written essays about what it means to be queer and Arab, and I'm very, very excited for it. I desperately want to read more books like this. You know, there's a whole community out there, and I read about them. I don't want to go out to it because I'm shy and scared, so I just read about it, reading indoors and staying in bed. Perfect. Now, on the same day, but more stones this time, I brought Small Town Pride by Phil Stamper, and then this is about a young boy called Jake, and he is out and proud, and his family accept him, his friends love him, and his dad hangs a pride flag over their house, and the mayor starts to receive complaints, and it leads to a pride parade. Now, this is a middle grade book, so I'm very excited. I've only read one middle grade book. I haven't read a middle grade book for a long time, and I'm excited to read a queer one, you know, so. And this is Amari and the Great Game by B.B. Olsen. I'm not telling you about this because I don't want to know, because I haven't read the first one yet. So I just wanted the sprayed edges version because I have the other sprayed edges version. So, and next up we have Vagabonds by El Augusto Sunday. Now, I've already read this. I just wanted to finish copy because I loved the book so much. Really made me cry. And I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm glad to have finished copy. I'm glad that I'm filming this video so I can finally put it away. Now, the reason I was in London was at the 4th State Book event, and I did pick up some books from that event. This is I'm Still With You by Emmanuel Iduma, and this is about a young Nigerian writer who goes back to Nigeria and explores what the mystery of war has done to the people and the land. Very excited. I do believe it's non-fiction, but I could be wrong. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure it's non-fiction. And this one is out on the 6th of February, so it's out now. I also got How to Say Babylon, a Jamaican memoir by Sophia Sinclair. Now, this is just a memoir about how Sophia grew up Rastafarian in a very strict household, and it's about her breakaway from that and what she will risk breaking away from it. And she spoke at the event. She was absolutely brilliant, and so I had to pick up a copy. I just had to pick up a copy of this. Actually, I already had a copy in my bag when she spoke, and other people did, and you saw them. She spoke, and they went running off, and I just got to sit there and listen. It's called being prepared, people. It's called being prepared. Then I got Friendaholic, Confessions of a Friendship Addict by Elizabeth Day. I just picked this up because I love my friends. I'm a bit of a friendship addict. I think I wouldn't be anywhere without my friends. I have two. I have two friends that mean everything to me. I would do anything for them. And so that's why I picked this up, literally just because I thought of my friends. I also picked up The Dog of the North by Elizabeth Mackenzie. And this is about a woman called Penny whose life has just got a bit much for her. She's getting divorced. Her granddad's going into a home. And along comes The Dog of the North, which is a camper van. And she sets off. So it's like a little road trip novel. But I think it deals with some pretty heavy things. But the author sent a little video and I thought, yeah, it sounds good. So I picked it up. And I also picked up another copy of Mrs. S by Kay Patrick. I spoke about this one before. This is about an Australian woman who starts to work in a boarding school in England and ends up having an affair with her boss's wife. It's a top 5 prediction for me. It's a 5-star prediction. I'm expecting to see this one on the end of the year too, the top 10. So now I'm going to talk about the books that I was very kindly sent by the publishers that I'm very grateful for, and some of these are really, really exciting. So let's crack on because you want to know. I know you want to know. I can hear you saying, Jack, come on, just tell me. Okay, I will, please. So first up, we got The Vaster Wilds by Lauren Groff, who was the author of The Matrix. That's a very popular book. I know. I haven't read it, but it was very popular. I do know that. And in this, we have a servant girl who escapes from a colonial settlement into the wilderness. What she finds there will bend her belief of everything that her own civilization has taught her. At once a thrilling adventure story and a prophetic fable, The Vaster Wilds tells the story of an America in miniature through one girl at a hinge point in history. I think that sounds pretty good, don't you? I'm very excited for this one. And this one comes out on September the 21st. It's a long way away, September. It's my furthest book away, so might be ready for a while. Next up, we have a non-fiction that's coming out and in April the 27th, and that is Men at War, Love, Lusting, Fighting, Remembering by Luke Turner. Crane? By Luke Turner, not Crane. I don't know where Crane came from. And this is just about Luke, who is obsessed with the Second World War as a child, and then when he grows up, his obsession stays, but he becomes to be more nuanced about it, and he really looks into what war means and what it meant to be a soldier in the war and what it meant to fall in love in the war, and it's it really delves into the war. So 27th of April if you are interested. Next up we have Eyes, Guts, Throat, Bones by Moira Fowley. Now this is a collection of fierce stories offering a new lens on the female body, on sex, death, love, and what makes us who we are. What will the end of the world look like? Once I finish this video, I'm literally going to go sit down and start reading this one, so that's how excited I am. April the 13th, this one comes out, so not long to wait. Next up, I was very lucky to be sent by Dialogue Books, Rosewater by Liv Little. This was on my most anticipated reads of 2023, so I'm very, very excited to have this one. And in this, we follow Elsie, whose life has just gone a bit wrong, and she moves in with her best friend Juliet, and feelings start to happen. I've heard nothing but great things about this one. It is out on the 20th of April, and I'm just ready. This will be read soon. Next up, I was sent by Harbour 360 YA, and that is If I Can Give You That by Michael Gray Booler. Now, this is about a trans boy who goes to a very conservative school, and he attends an LGBTQ plus group, and maybe he meets a boy, maybe he makes some friends, and it's just about the deals with teenage life and what it means to be queer, and I'm very excited. I haven't read a book like this in a while, so I'm getting excited about all these books. And yeah, I'm not really reading much right now, but you don't need to know that, but that's fine. but maybe this will be the thing that kickstart off my reading again. Then I was very lucky to be sent a finished copy of MAAME by Jessica George. I've already read this one. I absolutely love it. I'm so thrilled to have a finished copy. If you want to go pick this up, go pick it up now. I really enjoyed this one. Maddie is one of my favourite characters of the year so far. So now this book I'm very excited about. I think it has real potential to be brilliant. I really, really do. And I think it's the kind of story that only could work in a book. And this is, I'll hold it to the side, Open Throat by Henry Holt. Now I'm going to read the back to you about this one because I don't think my little rambles could do it justice. A queer, dangerously hungry mountain lion roams the drought-devastated Hollywood Hills. Lonely and fascinated by humans' foibles, the lion spends their days protecting a homeless encampment and, in quiet moments, grappling with the complexities of their gender identity, memories of a vicious father, and the indignities of sentience. It's going to be a banger. I just know it's going to be a banger. I'm so excited. And this one is out on July 27th, which is my best friend's birthday. That's how you know it's going to be good. It's released on my best friend's birthday. But so thank you so much to Picador Books for sending this to me. I'm ready. This should have been my anticipated books of the year, but it wasn't. Shame on me. If you want to check that out, it's linked down below. Now, next up, we have Out of Touch by Michael Saris. Now, this was sent to me by Michael. He's a friend of mine. He wrote the book All of My Friends Are Rich, which I loved. So if you want to go check that out, check that out. This one comes out in September, and he signed it. Look. I adore him. And this is about when Vincent Stewart accepts a friend request from cute Aussie guy Teddy Clark. Falling for him is the last thing he expects. Before they know it, the two become each other's most important person. But can their bond survive time, distance, and the obstacle life throws in their way? I'm so excited for this. I'm so pleased for Michael. I just can't wait. I cannot wait to read this. And look how cute the cover is. I'm just proud of my friend. I'm just proud of my friend. Now, next up, I was very lucky to be sent from Osborne. This is Broken Hearts and Zombie Parts by William Hussey. This comes out in May. I'm just going to say in May because I can't find the date. The 11th of May. I found the date. And this is about Jesse Sparks, who is going in for major heart surgery. And that means he only has 2 months to complete 2 tasks, which is shoot his epic zombie movie on a shoestring budget if he has any hope of getting into film school, fall in love before this surgery lands him with a huge scar, because how will anyone fancy him after that? Now, I do know William Hussey a little bit. I know he has had open heart surgery, so it's going to have some representation in it. And this is a young adult book, so I haven't read that in a young adult book before, so any representation is good for me. 11th of May. And I was also lucky to be sent by HQ Stories. This is Arthur and Teddy Are Coming Out by Ryan Love. And I just think this one sounds so sweet. This is about Arthur and Teddy. And Arthur is a 79-year-old man, and he decides to come out then. But that does sort of put a damper on his grandson, Teddy, who doesn't quite feel ready to come out yet. And I think this is going to be so lovely. It's going to be a real bonding story between these two characters. And I'm very, very excited to read this. This is hoping to be read this month. Now, lastly, from the publishers, this was sent to me by Grove Press. And I believe this could be a favourite of the year. I feel it in my heart. And it is And Then He Sang a Lullaby by Annie Kayode Sumachukwu. And this is the story about 2 young men in Nigeria who are determined to fall in love. Now, I've read some brilliant queer fiction that's coming out from Nigeria, and I think it just keeps getting better. You have Vagabonds, you have An Ordinary Wonder, you have God's Little Children of Broken Things, and I think this is just going to be added to the list. So I'm very, very excited. This comes out June 8th. Just mark on your calendars. Just mark it. Well, maybe don't. Let me read it first. And if I'm like, actually, it's bad. Because I don't want you guys to be like, we spent money and it's bad. So I don't want that. And lastly, we're nearly done. We're nearly done. These are the books I brought myself. Now, this comes from a Lumacrate, the box from Lumacrate Books, which I have cancelled because I just never read them. When I signed up, I thought Lumacrate was going to be different from what I thought it was going to give me books I actually want to read. But it hasn't. And this is another one I don't want to read. But it is God Killer by Hannah Kana. There will be an unhaul coming, and this will be on it. That was cool, but it's beautiful, but I don't want just beautiful books. I want to read them. So I have cancelled Lumacrate, which saves me money every month. Well, every 3 months, so I'm not going to complain at that. I also got the Fairy Loot edition of Heartstopper Volume 3. Now, I have cancelled Fairy Loot too. I had that a long time ago and I did cancel that. But because when I was on Fairy Loot, I got the first one. They offered me these. But this is beautiful. But they're having to reprint them and send them out because they're missing. The printer stopped working and they're missing. So this, I guess, I don't know what I'll do with this one, but it'll be a while before I get the new one. So, but beautiful editions. I love Heartstopper. I love it. I love it. Now, next up, when I haven't been well, I was listening to a podcast called Dish, which I loved. It's Nick Grimshaw, Angela Hartnett. She cooks food, he does drinks, and then they have a guest on. And I love Angela Hartnett. She's a chef in the UK. And I fell in love with Nick. So I bought his sort of memoir, autobiography thing. Even though it's not autobiography, it's sort of a collection of stories on love and life and loss. But I'm very excited to read this. It's signed by the author. It's signed, but it did come a bit damaged, but I'm not sending it back. I'm not that kind of type of person. I'm just not. I wish I was, but I'm not the type of person to fix things, you know? Next up, this book was on my most anticipated reads of the year, and it is Sorry Bro by Talene Vuskini. And this is the story about Na, whose boyfriend proposes to her, and it suddenly then realised that maybe that's not quite the relationship she is looking for. Very excited to read this one. It's going to have some great bisexual rep. I've heard nothing but good things about it, and I'm pleased because I'm going to do, like, at the end of the year or beginning of next year, like, did I read my most anticipated books? Did I even buy them? And so hopefully this will be one I've read, because otherwise that video will be like, no. And I don't embarrass myself like that, do I? Now, next up, I bought a manga, and that is Our Dining Table by Mita Ori. And I don't know too much about this one. I do believe it's set around a dining table. No, I think it's about somebody who loves to cook, but he feels uncomfortable around people, and then he meets these two brothers who are huge age gap, and he starts to fall for the older brother, and then they look after the younger brother together. I do believe, but all I know is it's really sweet, and I'm ready for sweet. And I've got such a huge manga collection now that I have not read any because I keep buying it, but I'm scared that if I don't like it, I've wasted my time and money. But I'm sure I'll love it. I'm sure I'll love it. Next up, my best friend picked a book for me to read this month, and we went out and brought it together. She searched for a long time in the shop, and it was Jeanette Winterson, Frankenstein. Now, this is the story, what happens when Homo sapiens is no longer the smartest being on the planet. Well, the way some of them act, I don't think they've ever been the smartest being on the planet. But very excited for this one. My best friend took a long time to choose it, so let's hope it's worth it. Let's hope it's worth it. Now, lastly, we've done it. It's the last. And I bought Glitterland by Alexis Hall. Now, you know I love Alexis Hall, aside from husband material, but we won't talk about that. But this was published, I think it was over 10 years ago, and it's been republished, it's been updated, you know, a little bit of changes here and there. And this is just, I'll just read any rom-com Alexis Hall writes. I don't know too much about this one. I believe it's sort of like opposites attract, a down the luck, sort of miserable writer, and then a happy-go-lucky someone else. Ash, I do believe their name is, and love ensues. I've had a lot of women books this time, haven't I? Love ensues. But what a wonderful way to live, and what a wonderful sentiment to finish on. Love ensues. So that's it. That is all the books, folks. I hope you weren't bored to tears. That would upset me, but I hope you have found a book that piques your interest in here that you can look forward to. Or if you've read any of them, let me know. You know how much I love chatting with you all. It's the best part about this. There were 39 books here, by the way. It's not good, is it? That's not good. When am I going to find time to read all these? But yeah, if you are looking forward to any of them, if you think, Jack, you've wasted your money, let me know. It'll be fun. Feel free to like and subscribe if you want to, and hit the bell. The bell lets you know when I post a video. There was on a Monday at 6 o'clock British Standard Time. That much I do know because I managed to stick to that schedule. But thank you so much for watching. Give it a thumbs up because apparently that really helps. Because the channel hasn't really grown and it makes me feel like I'm doing something wrong. But that's not your problem. That's my problem. I'm going to speak to you all really, really soon.